Okay, and also, before we get started, I was not able to add my exhibit to the box invite. Um, is there a way I can send it to the court?
Yeah, sure. As I understand it, it's just the one exhibit. Is that correct, Ms. Teague?
Yes, Judge.
Then if you would, you can email it to Miss Crane and Miss Gould. They're both on that email that you would have received on the invite for the Zoom.
Okay,
And then Miss Crane can make sure that gets into the record.
thank you.
I wonder what the issue is though with the box folder.
It could be, I've never been able to get access to it. I don't know if maybe it's something to do with the permissions on my computer. I need to fix it probably, but
Okay. I'm sure IT would be happy to kind of help you through that if you needed or your IT, right? So
yeah,
some IT.
I will. I
There's
do need to
there's
fix
a
that.
lot of AGs that have issues, so I don't know where it's at, but yeah, it's common with the AGs emails.
Yeah, and okay, I just sent it. I know there might be some issue too, because I know it gets sent to our legal email, and I don't know because we personally try to open it with a different email. I don't know. But
All
okay.
right. So they'll be able to forward that to me, Miss Teague, and then I'll be able to pull it up and look at it as well. But of course, you also have share screen permissions in the Zoom.
Okay.
Um, but let me just wait and make sure Miss Crane's ready for us. Were y'all able to work through some
I'm
stuff?
ready.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. We are on the record in D1 AG 21-810. I'd like to take appearances for our record, beginning with you, Miss Teague.
Michaela Teague with the Office of the Attorney General.
All right, thank you. And we have Mr. Alfred Williams. If you'll unmute your device and let me know, are you representing yourself here today? Should be able to hit that little microphone button to unmute it. Is that not working for you? We can't hear you, sir. It's still on mute. But look, I think if Miss Gould, she might be able to send you an invitation.
Unmute. There you go. There you
There
go.
we go. Okay.
All right.
And and you're here representing yourself today, correct, Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, John.
All right. And Miss Serling, can you do the same for me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. You're here representing yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Teague, if you'd like to walk me through what you would like to get done today.
hmm So, before the court, it's a SAPSER suit for modification of child support and a motion to confirm support arrearages. We do have some agreements between the parties on the issues in those pleadings, but mainly what we're going to be here today to do is go over the visitation, um, set a appropriate child support, medical support, go over non-disclosure, and then confirm arrears,
Okay.
and go over retroactive support.
Okay. And so would you like to call your first witness at this time?
Yeah. And before I do that, let me just tell you the agreements as well. I believe both parties have agreements on joint managing conservatorship for the child, for the both children. And then there's an agreement that Mr. Williams is the father of Alexis, the youngest child that was most recently born in April of 2023. And then I'd like the court, if it can, to take judicial notice of the acknowledgement of paternity that's attached to our petition for that.
Well, let me, Ms. Teague, the last petition, for some reason, Smart Bench, the last thing it's showing me is October of 2023. And that would be when the temporary order in the suit was
Okay,
entered. I don't see your petition.
interesting.
And for our record, I mean, clearly Mr. Williams and Miss Sterling are here.
Mhm.
So I'm not per se saying we can't go forward with that, but I don't, let me just check one thing and make sure that it's not a problem on my end.
Okay. And that's fine. I can elicit some testimony from both of them as well.
Okay. Well, as far as the agreement, so as I understand it, there's agreement between the parties on joint managing conservatorship. So I'll ask Mr. Williams, is that correct? Is that your understanding that there is agreement between you and Ms. Sterling about joint managing conservatorship of the children?
Yes, at a certain extent, yes. It's
Okay.
just,
Hold
I'm
on,
sorry.
we'll go through it in more detail. Ms. Sterling, is that
Okay.
your understanding as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Williams, as I understand it, there's an agreement by you that you are the father of the most recent child, Alexis, that was born in April of 2023.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. And what is there anything else, Ms. Teague, that is by agreement? So we can just be clear about that.
No, Judge.
All right. The last petition I have is from June of 2023.
That would be the correct one.
Okay. I didn't know if we were going back that far, but okay. June 2023, I will take judicial notice of that petition as well as, let me see, hold on. I'm sorry, June 30th of 2023. And as I think you've stated, there's an attachment related to the paternity to that petition.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Got it. Judicial notice taken. Go ahead.
Thank you. As far as my first witness, I'm going to call Miss Sterling.
All right. Miss,
Okay.
is it Sterling or Sterling?
Sterling, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to get it right. All right.
Thank
If you
you.
will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any of the testimony you will give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. All right, Miss Teague, please go ahead.
Okay, Miss Sterling, please state your full name for the record.
Nicole Danielle Sterling.
Okay, and what are the names of your children and their ages in this case?
Alexis Danielle Williams, she's 1. Alfred Douglas Williams Jr., he's 4.
Okay. And are you receiving benefit through Mr. Williams' Social Security disability for the children?
I think you call it Social Security or
She
The
said
disability.
Yeah, benefits or disability.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how much are those checks?
Oh, it's still on mute. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is that, hold on a second. Is that your 1-year-old or the 4-year-old?
Both the 4-year-old is sick right now, so he had to stay home, and the 1-year-old, she just all over the place.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get through this. Let's just it's okay. Don't stress out about it. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
We just need to make sure our record is clear. So when you answer, we just need to make sure Ms. Crane can take that answer down. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Teague, if you could restate your last question.
Yes. So the last question, you are receiving benefits through Mr. Williams's disability for the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how much are those benefit checks?
403 apiece.
Okay, so 403 per child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And has that amount changed at all from the temporary order in 2023?
Not that I know of.
Okay. In the temporary order, child support was set to 0 because you were receiving benefits for the children. That was over what guideline child support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And today, are you requesting an increase in the child support amount?
Like, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
Are you requesting more money for child support from Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell the court why you're asking for this increase?
Due to because stuff is so high. By the time I get everything that they need with their check, it's like I'm having to go and try to borrow money to get more stuff for them once they run out.
Okay. Are there any other reasons you're asking for an increase?
No, ma'am, just to make sure I have, to get the stuff they actually need once they run out.
Okay. And how much do you believe Mr. Williams makes monthly?
Um, I know with his disability, it could be over 14. I know he has a second job that he get paid cash for. And I know for a fact it's not, $400 every 2 weeks.
Okay. How much do you think he gets paid in cash with his second job?
Probably like, I want to say probably like five something.
Okay. Okay. So you think he gets 1,400 from his check and he gets $500 in cash from his second job?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to move on to some questions about visitation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell the court a little bit about the visitation schedule that you have going right now with Mr. Williams and the children?
Well, right now he's supposed to get Junior. Well, let me say his name right. Alfred. He's supposed to get him on Thursday, but lately he's been getting him on Friday due to school. And I've been wanting him to get, Alexis the same time that he's getting Junior, so that way I can be able to go find a job. And he's refusing to get Alexis, even when they had the first schedule that was set for him to get her and bring her back the next day. He wasn't even doing that. Like, I'm not
Okay.
saying that he can't, see his kids or nothing like that, but at least try to get them at the same time and bring them back at the same time. If not, please pay for her daycare.
Okay. So you're requesting a change to the visitation that was set in the temporary order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you had a preference, what would the visitation schedule look like for you, for both kids?
Picking them up at the same time and bringing them back at the same time.
Okay. And would you be okay with Mr. Williams having both children the first, third, and fifth weekends from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Sunday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And would you be okay with Mr. Williams having the children every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you okay with Mr. Williams having the kids alternating holidays and 30 days in the summer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I know that you said that your youngest was around 1 years old. Are you okay with Mr. Williams taking care of her for an extended amount of time?
Yes, ma'am, because that is her father. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And currently right now, what's the exchange location that you have going with Mr. Williams?
Right now, we have it where he picks Junior up in front of my office where it's, 24-hour surveillance. My manager is there as well. He picks him up from there and then he drops him back off right there in front of the office. Due to I don't have
Okay.
any transportation and he has his mom car a lot when she's not in work.
Okay. Okay. So what's important to you is the 24-hour surveillance, and because you don't have a car, you'd like to keep that exchange location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you plan on moving anytime soon?
Please repeat that.
Do you plan on moving anytime soon?
Um, yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
trying to look for another apartment.
Okay. Is there any other location that you'd be willing to exchange the children at in case you do move?
No, ma'am. It'll probably be the same place.
Okay. Would you be opposed to a geographic restriction to Travis and contiguous counties for the residents of the children?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm going to move on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Miss T.
No, that's okay. Miss Sterling, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. I'm going to move on to some insurance questions. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there currently any private health insurance available for the children?
Not that I know of. Just the Superior from Texas Human Health Service.
Okay, and that's how they're currently covered?
Yes, ma'am. On certain things they're covering.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to move on to some questions about your about non-disclosure. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any history of family violence between Mr. Williams and your children?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Between Mr. Williams and your children?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. What about between you and Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Can you tell the court a little bit about what's been happening?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Williams had end up getting, arrested for putting his hands on me. We're currently fighting the case as we speak. Um, that's about most, I can tell you at this moment.
Okay. Um, do you know the status of the case right now?
He's currently still going to court. From my understanding, he's still going to court for it.
Okay. Was there a police report filed for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any concerns with Mr. Williams having your home address, phone number, and email address that could lead to any harm to you or the children?
No, ma'am, but other people, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell the court about the other people?
Meaning like his family and bringing other people that he's dating around to my house because it has happened before.
Okay. So there's been harassment between you and some of Mr. Williams' family?
Yes, ma'am, it has. Even, his friends. I don't want to be disrespectful, but his friends.
Okay.
And I have,
Can you give the
I'm sorry, go ahead.
can you give the court some specifics about what's been happening?
Like stalking wise, they have pictures of the car that was over here, sending threatening text messages, stuff like that.
Okay.
Stop it.
Excuse me. And then as far as retroactive support, I know, are you requesting retroactive support for Alexis today?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. And to make it clear for the record, when did you start receiving the benefits, the $403 worth of benefits for Alexis?
I want to say probably like July or August. I can't say the exact date as I told you because I don't want to lie and say I know.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis was born in April?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're asking for retroactive support for April, May, and June.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the court today?
No, ma'am. Just, of him just getting his kids at the same time. It's more about the kids and not about us. It's more about the kids.
Nothing further, Judge. I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Williams, do you have any questions of Ms. Sterling at this time? And it has to be questions related to what we're here about today, which is child support and or visitation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I was wondering about whose stalk it's supposed to be I'm bringing to your home and stalking you.
Okay. But my concern, Mr. Williams, is that gets into the other matter, which,
Oh.
it doesn't, I'm not going to decide any of that today. So
Okay, okay.
it's more about asking if you have any questions. You don't have to ask her any. You're going to give some testimony,
Right.
I'm sure yourself. But
Okay, no, I don't have nothing to say to her. I'm gonna give. I'll speak with you all.
okay, all right. So Ms. Sterling, tell me just a bit about the benefit checks you received. They're just once monthly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what evidence do you have, or can you tell me that Mr. Williams has this other job? Can you tell me any more about that?
Yes, ma'am. I believe I had tried to send it in before, right when I found out that he was currently working the Mobile One, that's what it's called, Mobile One. They kind of do a little bit of everything up there, but he's assigned to opening the gate and shutting the gate. And this is from 4:45 in the morning. He will go and open it, and then he'll come back before 8 o'clock to close it because it closed at 8:30.
Okay. Well, and I may have some questions for Mr. Williams about that, but all right. I don't think I have anything else. Ms. Teague, do you have anything else you need to ask Ms. Sterling?
Not for Miss Sterling, no.
Okay. All right, then you can go ahead and mute your device now, Ms. Sterling, since you're off the witness stand.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Ms. Teague, what would you like to do next?
I'll call Mr. Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any of the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Williams, you can put your hand down. I do want to make sure and admonish you with respect to your Fifth Amendment rights. So as I understand it, there's this other criminal case pending. And so to the extent that you feel any of your answers would implicate you or implicate your conduct in that matter, you do have the right to raise to not answer and raise your Fifth Amendment right to not answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So questions about child support and visitation wouldn't necessarily fall in those categories, but I do want to make sure that on the record you understand what your rights are. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Ms. Teague, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Williams, can you please state your full name for the record?
Alfred Douglas Williams, Sr.
Okay, and do you have any children outside the two in this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you still receive benefits for your Social Security disability?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you in agreement with the amount that Mom said that she was getting in her testimony, the 403
No,
per child?
No, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I'm so sorry. The 403, yes, I agree. That's what she get.
Okay, so you're in agreement that each child gets $403?
Fathers, I know because I don't stay in her, business like that when it come down to none of that stuff. She don't give me the nothings about none of that, so I have no idea. But I do believe she get around that much. But every time my Social Security go up, theirs go up, and it recently went up.
Okay, when did it go up?
I think it was several months back,
Okay.
maybe 2 to 3 months back. But when mine
Okay.
go up, theirs go up.
Okay, and do you know how much it went up?
Oh, I think it was under 100. It's under $100.
Okay.
Or it might be a
What's
little.
going on mine?
Wait,
I'm not
hold,
sure.
Sterling, you're not on the witness stand. You can't talk at this time. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Teague.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so your Social Security check, you believe has gone up for about $100. Is that correct?
I think it's something like that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like I say, I just get it and do what I pay what I have to pay, to everybody.
Okay. And you are aware that in the last temporary order, you ordered to pay cash medical support?
Yes, ma'am. We'll get to that right now. The
Okay.
thing,
And just a second. Your Honor, I'd like to mark State's Exhibit 1 for identification.
All right, let me just make sure and open that up so I can see it too. Where did my thing go? Okay, I see it. And if you want, can you share your screen with it, Ms. Teague, just so that
I can. Let me find it here. Here we go. Okay. Can you see it all right?
Yes. All right.
Okay.
And I show the version you've sent to Miss Crane does have a State Exhibit 1 marking on it. Mr. Williams, have you had a chance to review this document?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objections to it?
I can barely see it, but I think that's the one she was short talking to about earlier. Yes, I agree with you.
Okay. And Ms. Sterling, do you have any objection to this document coming into the record? Okay, I read your lips. You said no. So I'm going to admit State's Exhibit 1. Go ahead, Misty.
Okay. Mr. Williams, as far as you're aware, I did show you this earlier, but this is a true and accurate statement of what you've paid toward medical support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to note for the record that Mr. Williams is paid ahead in $260 as of yesterday, January 16th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Okay. I'm going to move on to some questions about visitation. All right, Mr. Williams?
One more, Your Honor. The question for you. I don't get paid. I have my the what you call it, income W-2 form, which I don't file, because of disability. But how much I make from my boss a month, I don't make that much. When she
Okay.
had quoted a
Okay.
month,
I'm
I don't
gonna
And-
give, if Miss Teague doesn't ask, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to tell me about that,
Oh,
Mr.
okay, I'm
Williams.
sorry.
Okay. So I'm sorry,
Yes.
restate your question, Miss Teague.
No worries. And Mr. Williams, we will get to that. I'm just going to move on to some questioning about visitation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell the court a little bit about the visitation schedule that you have going with the children right now and Miss Sterling?
Well, right now it's not the children, it's Alfred Jr., my son. It's usually, like she said, Thursdays on Thursday through Sundays. And since school is in, it's Friday through Sundays. And as far as getting them at 6 o'clock and dropping them off at 6, we hadn't been doing that. I get them once my mother get off because she has a vehicle. As she get off at 3:30, I go immediately to pick him up and return him at 3, just to keep the same positive energy with her, because I don't have a vehicle. And in the summer times with school out, I've been keeping him the whole summer since uh 2 years old. He been with me the whole summer, unless I get sick or something like that, then he'll have to go back home so she can take care of him or something like that because of my disability. But no,
Okay.
as far as the 6 to 6, but summertime, she's trying to get me to watch both of them in the summer. I'm unable to. I can't do it. If I
Okay.
have to give up my rights to her, that's what I have to do. But not
Okay.
AJ.
So,
I'm
okay, Mr.
sorry.
Williams. So just to clarify, currently right now with your oldest son, AJ or Junior, you pick him up from school and you drop him off on Sundays, you said?
Not from school. He rides the bus. When he get out of school, and go to where he reside at,
Mhm.
I go there and pick him up right after school. And when he's out of school, once my mother get home from work,
Okay.
and
And she gets
then
home from
she
she
get
gets
out.
home from work at what time?
She get out from work at the state at 3 o'clock, and she make it
Okay.
home about 3:30, and I be over there to get him.
Okay. And what time did you say that you drop your oldest son off on Sundays?
3:30. We both had that agreement because I pick
Okay.
him up. I pick him up at 6 o'clock. He
Miss
be ready
Sterling,
to come.
I see your hand is up. You will get an opportunity to ask Mr. Williams some questions. So we'll make sure you're heard. Go ahead, Miss Teague.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, and then can you tell the court a little bit about why you don't want to take both kids at the same time?
I'm unable to due to my health. She don't believe that. Of course, she's younger, and that's my doing. I don't have no regrets for my children. Having them or not, I should have thought about it, but I didn't know my health was going to decline. That's not my fault. It's
Okay.
not my. I've been in the hospital 4 times within the 3 months total for double pneumonia. That's why my son is at home now. I'm not getting him, so I won't get back sick. I'm too
And
my Indian pancreas transplant. I can't risk my life.
okay. And when do you generally take your youngest daughter, Alexis?
I don't take her as much. No, I talk to her over the phone and stuff. I don't take her unless she has to do something, a must, and that's when I'm not doing nothing. I have appointments and stuff like that too. No, I don't get her like that. I have, but I just can't do it two at one time anymore. AJ is big enough. I potty trained him. I told him, and I love my daughter too. I love them both to death. I wish I can be one of them parents I wish I wanted them to stay with me, but I can't. I can't no more because I know I know my health is not good enough to, for that.
Okay. And so if you had a preference for visitation with Alexis, what would you see?
Uh, uh, Fridays and Saturdays. It's hard with me, and I get AJ through Sundays because he's 4 years old. He can almost do for himself. I potty train him. He can go to the bathroom now. I did all of that. I'm trying to do much as I can do before anything, God forbid, happened to me. So I'm trying to, you know, get him where, you know, uh, 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 um, he understand, some of the basics,
Okay.
But
And
like I say, I love both of my children, but I can tolerate having two Saturday and Sunday.
okay. And Mr. Williams, I'm going to move on. Are you okay with the exchange location continuing to be
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
where you currently
That's
have
fine.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you okay with Ms. Sterling having the right to move anywhere in Travis or the surrounding counties?
No, ma'am. Not with my son.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't think they quite understand Mystique. So I think what Mr. Williams is saying is that's even too far. Yeah.
Yes, I
So
don't have a vehicle. She wrecked. I got a brand new vehicle for us, the family. But she helped me get it, but she had it sent back because she couldn't pay for it. I went to jail at that time. She had put me in jail at that time, but I got a dang near brand new vehicle for the family. Now I don't have anything. I have to wait for my mother to get home to use her vehicle if she's not doing anything. I have to make when my doctor's appointments that I have to have appointment. I have to try to make arrangements with them. I can't see them on time, and
Okay.
this is not good.
Okay. And I'm going to move on to some questioning about your income. Okay, Mr. Williams?
No problem. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
How much would you say that you receive in Social Security disability?
Uh, I would say 1,400 a month.
Okay. And do you work any other jobs or have any more income?
Yes, ma'am. At Mobile One Car Wash, which is like she was saying, just an in and out situation. That's help me put money in my pockets as cash.
Okay. And how much do you make in cash a month?
I was making 150 at first when I talked to you all the last meeting, but
oh wait, hold on, Mr. Williams, just wait 1 second. Okay, now start your answer again.
All right, I was making 150 when I talked to you all the last time, and now I make 200 every 400 a month because I almost stopped working, and I guess she caught wind of it because back and forth was, a lot of gas, and it wasn't worth it. But he was also helping me with that because I've been going up there for many years. My barber shop is up there, and I hang around. I used to hang around with the guys, so he decided to give me that job to help me out because he was knowing how my income was looking because I had a talk with him, and that's how I got that job up there.
Okay, so you would say you make about $1,800 a month total?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you currently have any private health insurance available for the children?
That part I only have dental for AJ, and I'm trying to, which at this moment, no, because when
Okay.
I went to jail, they canceled it, and I had to wait a year for them to start back. And they gave in 3 months, I can start back. I already have the number in the phone. I will be able to start back, and I was gonna get him back on that insurance, the same insurance he had been with for when we first started that.
Okay, and how much do you pay for your son's dental?
$50 a month, but she declines me taking my dental, why I have no idea. But she declined me taking him. He have a dental that they go to, but $50 a month, depending on what it is, depending on what kind of cleaning, whatever they do. But monthly is $50 a month.
Okay. I'm going to move on to some questioning about non-disclosure, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you okay with Miss Sterling not disclosing her information to you?
No, I'm not okay with that
Okay. Can you tell the court why?
because what she was talking about me calling up school, my son was having asthma, and he has autism. Now, I'd be concerned about him with his, I have health problems, so that I take serious. I try to call the school. When she get mad and upset, she does it. And I asked her a couple of weeks ago to put me on there so I can keep up with his activities and how he's doing in school and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna put you on that. I'm gonna put you on that. I asked her yesterday or day before. No, I'm still not on that. And that's not fair. If I'm taking everywhere and helping her with the children doing stuff, I just bought him medications and stuff yesterday. It's not like I don't do for them.
Okay.
You know,
And
I do everything. I know that's a gift, but they're still my children, and I'm going to do
okay.
what I can do when I have the money. I don't have money like that.
Okay.
When I went in the
And I
hospital, I had to pay her $75 to keep my children, her children.
okay, Mr. Williams, I'm going to move on. Do you have any concerns with Miss Sterling having your home address and phone number
She has it.
and email address?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Is there any history of family violence between you and Miss Sterling that Miss Sterling hasn't testified to or didn't say in her
Yes,
testimony? Okay.
yes, we have, yes. That and
Okay.
that should be over real soon, but with all of the evidence, they say it's pretty sure I should
Well, we
come.
don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we don't
Oh,
need to
okay,
go
okay,
into
okay,
that. Yeah, I don't
okay,
want you
okay.
to
And I told her that once upon a time. Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Nothing further, Judge. I pass the witness.
All right, Miss Sterling, if you'll unmute your device, this would be the opportunity that you would have to ask Mr. Williams any questions. But I do need to make sure that they are related to the issues that I need to decide, which is the child support issue and the visitation issue. Do you have any questions of Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am, I do, concerning my kids only.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, you said that you was getting junior every 2 summers. You just barely got junior this
No,
summer.
no.
Hold on, guys, wait. Because we're taking a record, it's super important not to talk over each
Okay.
other.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I think let's let Mr. Williams answer the question first, and then you can follow up, Ms. Sterling, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
No, that's not true. It's not true.
It's not true that it was just this past summer?
No, yes, ma'am, it's not
Okay.
true. Yes.
Okay, next question, Ms. Sterling.
And then, for us and him saying, you saying that you can't get both of them at the same time. You can. That's only a way. It's a way that you can get both of your kids at the same time. If I can do it, you can do it too. I don't ask you to get them.
Okay, well, Ms. Sterling, hold on. It's got to be a question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
as opposed to, listen, I understand you feel a certain way about it, but it's about whether you have a question for Mr. Williams about it.
No further questions.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead and mute your device. Mr. Williams, I have a couple questions. So how often are you exercising your time with Junior?
He's over. I was supposed to got him this week, but he's sick right now, and that deals with my immune system.
Okay, but regularly, are you
I
exercising?
get him on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you have him, is your mother present with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
At times, not all the time, but sometimes. When she's out.
Do you live with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Sean.
Ms. Teague, do you have any other questions for Mr. Williams?
Yes, actually, I do have a few more.
Okay, go ahead.
It's about the retroactive. Mr. Williams, are you in agreement to have retroactive support for 3 months that mom is requesting?
How much was that? I'm not in agreement because I don't know what that is. How much that is.
Can you go into a little bit more detail, Ms. Teague, about it?
Yes, I can. So, and I'll just preface this as the numbers. Based on guideline support from your temporary order, let me pull it up here. The child support would have been about $400, $395. So for 3 months, Miss Sterling is requesting 3 months worth of $395 or something around there. Is that something that you would agree to pay, Ms. Sterling?
So there's 3 months, Mr. Williams, that you have not paid the child support that was ordered in the temporary orders. And so that is 3 months at $395 a month.
Oh no, ma'am. I can't afford $300 a month. I'm barely getting my medications. I can't. There's nowhere in the world I can afford $300 a month. I don't even have a car. I can't even get a. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for Mr. Williams?
No, Judge.
No, ma'am. Oh, I thought you said Miss Williams.
Okay. And which 3 months is this for, Ms. Teague?
From my understanding, it would be April, May, and June, as Ms. Sterling received the benefits check around the July or August time period.
Okay, so that would be in the 2023.
3.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Any other questions, Ms. Teague, for Mr. Williams?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Williams, you can mute your device for just a second.
All right, I'm trying to find.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't want you to mess with that.
Mute myself.
So, Ms. Teague, do you need to call any other witness?
No, Judge.
All right, do you rest at this time?
I rest, yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Williams, is there anything else that you need to tell me as part of your case? In other words, what else, yeah, something that I haven't already heard that you need to tell me about child support and visitation?
Yes, she also took on her oldest daughter there that reside with her now, and she basically take be with Alexis most of the time. But that's much as I. Oh God, this the child support, the support. I'm just trying to think of, you know. I don't know if it's up to y'all really, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. And so, Ms. Sterling, then to you, as far as if you have anything else that you need to let me know relating to the child support and the visitation issue.
Yes, ma'am. Far as my daughter, she's 15. She don't have Alexis like that. My daughter goes to high school. And second of all, I don't use, what they get from their dad for my daughter. So she shouldn't be brought into this conversation at all. It should be only about the two that we have. Other than that, Your Honor, I really don't have anything else to say.
All right. Ms. Teague, do you want to give me some closing as far as exactly what you're requesting from the court today?
Yes. So the state's requesting joint managing conservatorship with a geographic restriction to Travis and contiguous. We'd like child support to be confirmed from the temp orders. And that would be just the child support at 0 due to Ms. Sterling receiving benefits in excess or the same as of guideline support of 403 based on Mr. Williams' testimony. We'd also like medical support to be confirmed from the temp order. That would just be that Ms. Sterling be ordered to apply for the government medical and Mr. Williams to pay the cash medical at $79 per month. We are requesting non-disclosure as to Ms. Sterling's information for safety concerns based on testimony. And then the state would like to confirm that Mr. Williams is paid in advance on his obligation for medical support at $260 as of yesterday, January 16th, 2025. And then we're just requesting appropriate orders for possession and access based on testimony. And as far as the retro, appropriate orders for the retro as well.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Ms. Sterling, I will say I understand your frustration. I can keep in place the orders with respect to possession and access that call for dad to have these particular periods of possession, but I can't. Beyond that, I can't force him to do it. I mean, I think what Mr. Williams, you need to understand is that Ms. Sterling needs an opportunity to try to have the consistency to go out and get a job. And so to the extent that you are able to help facilitate that, that only benefits your children. So please keep that in mind. I mean, not only is it important for kids to know their fathers, but it's important that if Ms. Sterling is the one that can seek employment and be employed, that you do what you can do to help her get there. No. Hold on. This is my turn to talk now. Okay. So again, I mean, it's. I understand you have some issues as well, but please keep that in mind that what you can do to help Ms. Sterling gain employment only benefits your children. So I want you to keep that in mind going forward. Ms. Teague, if you will send me the proposed orders that you have from our time here today with your requested relief, I will look through those and go through them. If you'll send them to me in Word, that would be best. So send me a Word version of it and we can get something signed and entered for you.
Okay, I can do that, Judge.
So what we're doing, oh, and I wanted to explain one other thing. So when Ms. Teague says a geographic restriction of Travis and contiguous counties, that is very form language. But we want to make sure that the orders have that because it prevents one parent from leaving to another state with the kids.
Yes, ma'am.
And we want to try to keep kids where their parents are. Miss Sterling, do you don't have any plans to move out of the area currently, do you?
No, ma'am. I explained that before. I want to move from over here. I'm not moving out of Austin, Texas,
Right.
but I need to move from this area.
Right. And Travis and contiguous counties means, I mean, that's a good chunk of Central Texas because it's Travis County and any county that touches Travis County is where you could move if you needed to. So I get it. It's very difficult. It's very expensive to live in certain parts of town. And if there's a place in Williamson County or Bastrop County or something that touches Travis County, those areas would still be open to you under these orders, okay? Okay. All right. Anything else, Miss Sterling?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So Miss Teague's going to send me and copy you both on the order that she's proposing the court sign based on what we've heard today. I'm going to look through that and make sure it reflects my orders and get it signed. And then you should each be receiving a copy of that once it's signed and entered. Miss Sterling?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So he would not be getting the kids at the same time, right?
Well, again, what I can do is put the guideline in place. So the orders are going to say, this is what he's standard possession order. It's first, third, fifth weekends. It's, Thursday night from this time to that time. And then you both have to figure out what's going to work. I mean, unfortunately, I know there's some other issues happening between the two of you, but to the extent you can at least just email or text what your agreements are with respect to when he's going to come and pick them up and when he's going to come back and drop them off. But we're going to make sure that that exchange location stays in place.
Yes, ma'am.
And then if you can, Mr. Williams, the consistency, I believe, is what Ms. Sterling is in absolute need of. And so let's try to work out the most consistent schedule so that she has some predictability about when she can work, where she can work, and what she can do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I tried, but she didn't go for them. But my son stays in place, right, Your Honor?
Well,
it's not always about Junior. It's about Lexington too.
Right. So
I'm saying because he's already in place.
The orders, Mr. Williams, are that you have possession of both of the children for that set period of time. Now, I can't force you, whether you're taking one child or both children, it ends up being your call, but the most I can do is plead with you for the consistency that Ms. Sterling is asking for.
Yes, ma'am. And Your Honor, one question from you, if you don't mind me asking. Let me cut this off.
Okay.
Them spams.
Yeah.
So you're saying that AJ is not the went out of school Thursday, Fridays, that anymore? It's just what you was just saying.
Well,
I just want her to understand also.
The orders are going to follow the standard possession language. If you don't intend to follow that, then you need to be clear with Ms. Sterling about what time and when you can bring him back.
Well, I'm just asking you for her sake so she won't be confused. I know what you're talking about. I understand. I just want her. to,
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
I don't think Miss Sterling's confused, Mr. Williams. The orders are
Okay.
going to say what the orders are going to say. It's just,
Y'all gonna
I
send it
can't,
out?
I'm sorry.
Y'all are sending the orders out to us also?
Once they are signed, yes.
Okay, okay,
If
no problem.
until then, the orders that are in place already remain.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay. All right, Ms. Teague, I'll look for your email with the Word version of your proposed order.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I'm going to excuse you all from the Zoom today. Please take care.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.